Hey,
Hey, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. What's up with you on a Wednesday
Good.
morning?
Good. Just getting ready for the weekend.
So I guess to start off, you made some news last night
Mhm.
with that post about your mom, and I'm wondering what made you want to share that with the world? What you and your
Yeah.
family are dealing with?
Yeah, I think honestly just when I started or when this whole process started a couple weeks ago is definitely a perspective changer, and I felt like, at first I didn't really know what to do. I wasn't sure whether to even share with my race team or because you just don't know where it's going to go, and what all the details are. And so you kind of want to get all those things before you let people know. And I think gradually as the weeks have gone by, I've just become more comfortable with people understanding the situation. And my race team knew about it going into this weekend. And then I've just felt like I felt like it's just powerful for people to you know show support and love and care for her. And I felt like she deserved that and she wanted that. It was really her decision.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it's just one of those things that we're comfortable with. And I think that she's ready to start the process. And definitely going to be there to support her every step of the way.
So was part of the reason you did it this week because it's Mother's Day this weekend? Or is that kind
I
of
think it made sense. I think yes and no. I feel like yes, because I was going to be asked about my mom at some point this week, and it would have been hard for me to withhold the fact that what she's going through. It would have been
Mhm.
hard just to talk about everything like it's normal. So I think that yeah, that was part of it. But I feel like the timing honestly just didn't work out last week. It got too late in the week, and it was too close to the race weekend. And I didn't really want to. She didn't want that for me to have to answer a bunch of questions about it right as before the race. So I think it just made sense. And honestly, it's her decision, and this made sense to kind of get it out there early in the week and be able to get going.
So when does her treatment start?
She'll still start next Tuesday, I believe. So hopefully, trying to get it going as quickly as possible. But yeah,
Have you reached out to Matt Tift to maybe get his thoughts on the situation since he's been through that personally himself?
yeah, I haven't, no, but I do know that and kind of watching his social media. So I'm sure we'll connect at some point for sure.
Okay, cool. So what would it mean for you to get a win for your mom on Mother's Day this weekend?
Yeah, it'd be huge. I mean, I think that we would it'd be huge for her. I think she, I've had a number of people reach out. Greg Ives had a great message to me this morning. I just think it would be huge because I feel like, she just loves the fact that I'm pursuing what I love, and I think that that's most important to her. And there's been times over the last few weeks where I feel like it doesn't, racing's not as important. And, at the same time, she's encouraged me to continue to pursue what's important to me. So it's been a good balance, I feel like. And it'd be huge for her. I think that, she's able to watch, and our whole family able to watch. And it's Darlington's close to home too. So it wouldn't
Mm.
be a long drive to get home to see her. So I definitely would be excited if we could do that.
So has she been able to come to like any of your race wins over the last year because of the COVID protocols at all?
Yeah, she has. Luckily, she's been at she wasn't at Daytona, but she was at Homestead,
Okay.
and she was there with my aunt. So that was awesome. She was really excited. She was up in the suite watching that. So yeah, it's been great for her to be able to be there for some of those. She's been at a lot of wins. Actually, it's funny. Funny story is
Okay.
she was at my first win ever in a car. My dad actually was not. He was on vacation or something. And so my mom was taking me to the racetrack for my first few wins in legend cars. So we grew a connection and bond through that. I feel like, I mean, she's my biggest supporter, and I feel like she watches everything. So it's
Okay.
cool to kind of have her watch all that.
All right, man. So Darlington, you have, I don't know if you noticed, you have 9 straight top 10s.
Oh,
That's
really? Yeah.
that's no small feat. 9 straight finishes this season. Um, so how are you feeling about basically your 6th Cup start at Darlington.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I've had decent success at Darlington. I feel like I always value that racetrack. It's one that I grew up going to, and feel like I know the rhythm and the flow of that racetrack. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fun weekend. I feel like Darlington's it's going to be more old school this weekend with the
Mhm.
fact that it's low downforce and high horsepower. So it's going to be hard to drive. There's going to be a lot of guessing going on with the setups, but I feel like as soon as we kind of find something that works, hopefully early in the race, we can work with that and keep it going. So I've had some good runs there. Always feel like I've had speed there, so just have to continue that.
Christopher Bell said I think it was last week, that when he went from Xfinity to Cup, and that racing at Darlington was eye opening, the difference between Xfinity and Cup, especially with that high downforce.
Mhm.
What was there an eye opening moment for you at Darlington when you got to Cup?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that the second practice that I ever did there, just the fact that the cars were so slick and the track was so slick and you just didn't have a lot of grip. So it was very hard to drive your car and very hard to do what you needed to do to make lap time and stuff. So um, I feel like that was noticeable right away. And then the racing is its own beast. I mean, you got to kind of, with the high downforce package, there wasn't a lot of give and take. You were kind of running side by side on a really narrow racetrack, which was interesting. But I feel like with this package, there's going to have to be a lot of give and take. So we're going to get back to kind of the old school where you've got to set up passes, and it's going to be different.
The last year's Southern 500 being your first top 5 and your first top 10 at Darlington, what clicked for you last fall?
Yeah, I think just finally, having the right feel in the car, not being too tight or too loose, just kind of having the right sensations in the car. It's a really finicky, racetrack. You've got to have a good balance there, and I feel like I've been on both sides of things there, where I'm way too loose or way too tight, but finally got something that I felt like was pretty good, and was able to work with that.
Okay. All right, so I'm doing a story for Speed Sports Magazine on the next gen car, which is being announced today. So what is the vibe like at Hendrick Motorsports right now with this announcement coming out later, the reveal later this afternoon?
Yeah, I think we're encouraged by it. I think that it's going to be a great step for the sport. It's going to, open up a new box, to work in. So it's going to be a lot different. I mean, you're not going to be using your imagination to build parts. You're going to be using your imagination to, set up the cars, engineer the cars, all those things. So it's going to, I mean, possibly be more like what I see in IndyCar, and the way that um, they work together, and strategy is really important, and teamwork. And I just hope that we can produce a great race with it. And I feel like it's going to be a work in progress.
So when you got into that car at Auto Club Speedway, what surprised you about it?
So I was pretty early on in the
Yeah.
stages of development, so I feel like I didn't take much from it, but um, I just noticed the fact that the transmission, the sound of the car was so much different. Those things were drastically different than what I'm used to. So those were the things that I picked up on right away, and I feel like as it evolves, it changes. But yeah, the sound of the engine and feelings of it were a lot different.
So yours was on a 2 mile speedway. How do you think that car is going to handle at like Michigan, or well, you're going to Auto Club next year. So at Auto Club in Michigan, um, in a pack full of cars compared to what you guys are driving right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a handful probably, but I feel like at that point the car will be developed a lot more. We'll have a better idea of kind of what to expect. So it'll be a lot different, and I feel like it'll in some ways be the same.
Oh, really?
Same weight and power probably that have right now, and those are the two big parts of the equation. So we're just gonna have to figure out kind of you know how to make the car handle well.
So what do you like? What do you think the difficulty level will be in transitioning to this car for younger drivers like you, Cole Custer, guys who are just still in your early parts of the Cup Series career? What will be the adjustment level that you'll have.
Yeah, I think there's some things that you have in your memory bank that you're going to have to somewhat erase. Maybe the way that you time restarts and the way that you get through the gears and some of those things. Maybe the way the side draft works. I don't know yet if that's going to be the same or not. I'm sure it's going to evolve and change. You know, what's important, what balance kind of works. You know, right now with our current car, I feel like you can drive it pretty loose. You know, you kind of you can get away with a lot if the car is loose and not necessarily wreck, but maybe you're not as fast. So, you know, figuring out, is that the same? Is it different? You know, is the car tighter? Is it you need to drive it tighter? Stuff like that. So it's gonna be a little bit different.
Do you consider yourself, when it comes to the car, are you a technical person? Do you like to know what they're doing to the car on adjustments and stuff?
Somewhat. I think that I'd rather just know a general sense of what they're changing, but not like a directional, you know, thing when it comes to aero balance or stuff like that. I kind of avoid that stuff, but I do like to know kind of how the setups are evolving and what is changing, over time. But yeah, you know, it's kind of, you know, I try to stay out of it to some degree and just to be a race car driver.
So in going from one generation of a car to another, do you anticipate you having to like update your glossary of terms that you have to use when talking to your crew chief?
Oh, for sure. I think that there's going to be a lot different with the steering, and you're going to have to figure out, you know, quickly what it is you're wanting in the steering and the feedback and stuff like that. The brakes are going to be a lot different. So yeah, there's going to be some things that are drastically different.
Okay, cool, man. Well, that's all I got for you.
Awesome.
Good luck at Darlington. You got a killer paint scheme, man.
Thank you.
Like,
Appreciate it. Looks cool.
do you get input in this game? Like,
This one I didn't as much. I did in the past with the Days of Thunder and stuff like that. But yeah, this one they kind of Valvoline kind of chose. So it's I'm excited for it. Looks good.
I don't think there's very few bad Valvoline schemes.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
they're pretty much almost like
Sure.
85% good. So
Yeah.
you got a good one, man. So
Thank
all
you.
right, man.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Have a great
Thank
day.
you. Have a good one. See ya.